Hamas's top political leader says the death of his three sons in an Israeli airstrike won't influence ceasefire talks in Cairo. Ismail Haniyeh's sons were travelling in a vehicle in the Gaza Strip when they were targeted by an Israeli drone. Hamas, which led the terror attacks on Israel in October, says at least three of the leader's grandchildren were also killed in the strike. The latest round of talks to agree a temporary ceasefire in Gaza has been ongoing since Sunday.
A strike to the heart of Hamas that killed three of the group's most prominent figures, the sons of Hamas's leader, Ismail Haniyeh.
They were here to visit the families of people who have been killed.
It could have been a terrible massacre because these streets are always busy. Luckily, they only targeted them. There are always so many children in this area.
The Israeli army says the brothers had conducted militant activity in the central Gaza Strip, describing one of them as a cell commander. Their father, Ismail Haniyeh, is Hamas's diplomatic face. He lives outside of Gaza and has acted as a negotiator in truce talks since the war began. The deaths of his sons come as new ceasefire talks in Cairo drag on without sign of a breakthrough. The latest proposal, which Hamas says it's studying, reportedly includes the release of 40 Israeli hostages being held in Gaza in return for hundreds of Palestinians from Israeli jails. Haniyeh says the attack will not change the group's demands, but concerns are growing that it could tarnish months of talks, especially after they appeared to be gathering steam in recent days.
DW correspondent Tanya Kremer has more on this. What signals is Israel sending with this strike on Haniyeh's sons?
Well, the Israeli military didn't really go into details about its operational tactics behind that strike, but they said there were operatives with the Qassam brigades, that's Hamas's military wing, other than being also the sons of the Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh. Now, some here argue that this is, of course, part of Israel's strategy of maximum pressure on Hamas and also showing Hamas they can strike anywhere, everywhere. But this strategy so far hasn't resulted in putting enough pressure, it seems, on Hamas to come to a new agreement. We just heard it in the report. The negotiations are ongoing, and we also heard from the Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh saying that this would not change Hamas's demands, but it comes, of course, at a critical time.
The consequences for a hostage deal, Tanya?
Well, we've been hearing that Hamas is now expected to respond to a proposal that has been hammered out by the mediators Qatar, Egypt and also the United States. We have heard some officials in recent days from Hamas rejecting this proposal, but Hamas has put out a statement saying they're still studying it. So there's the expectation that there will some sort of answer soon. Now, the main sticking points from the point of view of Hamas were that they want to see a full ceasefire, they want to see a full withdrawal of Israeli forces and also a return of displaced people and residents of northern Gaza to the north of Gaza. Israel has called some of these demands delusional in the past days. They want to see at least 40 hostages released. These will be mainly women, elderly, also the two children that are there. It's unclear whether 5 female soldiers would be part of it in exchange for Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli prisons. And of course, also, this would mean a temporary ceasefire. At least there's talk about a 4 to 6 weeks a temporary ceasefire. But again, we don't know all these details. We need a lot of clarifications on that, and we will have to wait and see how these talks progress.
The latest from DW correspondent Tanya Kremer in Jerusalem.